I'm trying to understand the Iranian mindset here. And do you see any justification for the Iranian support for Houthi terror groups firing missiles into Saudi Arabia, or indeed from Hezbollah and Iraqi militia groups too? Is there any rationale for this?
Well, if in your mind you separate where the people of Iran stands and the national interest of our country, vis-a-vis what is the interest of the regime and where it stands in its views, you're talking about the two separate worlds. The regime, of course, has every interest to continue fomenting instability because its survival depends on that. To the people of Iran, on the other hand, our national interest depends first and foremost on having stability and peace and cordial relationship with our neighbors, as opposed to constantly meddling into their internal affairs by various means of interference. That is very clear. Suffice it to say that if you compare where Iran was before the revolution and its relationship with our immediate neighbors and beyond the world, it was a totally different story, as opposed to since the regime came to power and every irritation, conflict, confrontation that as a result of its behavior it has created, which unfortunately is the people of Iran who have to pay the price for it.
Have you been following the reforms that have been going on in Saudi Arabia in recent years, the Vision 2030 strategy and all the reforms and liberalization that's gone with that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I cannot be more happy to see that evolution and the Abraham Accords and everything that comes after, because we're in the direction of progress and regional cooperation and opportunities. That's exactly what's the dream of an Iranian, and I would believe probably a Syrian or an Iraqi who are stuck with the axis of resistance that keeps them from having such opportunities, where other nations are moving forward, are readjusting the circumstances not to depend on oil as a major source of revenue and readjusting their economies and having plans for the future, and all of that in conjunction and cooperation with each other. That's the model to follow. And Iran could certainly and would want to be part of that once it's freed from this regime that is an obstacle for that. There was a time where people in Dubai were dreaming of coming to Tehran to go to our supermarkets and shop in our major stores. Today, it's the dream of every Tehrani to go to Dubai and move away from Iran. It's a reversal of situation.